Hey, it's Andy here from Sheet Ready. In this tutorial, we're going to learn all about the ribbon. In the previous video, we learned how to create a Google account and set up our very first Google Sheets spreadsheet. So let's open that first spreadsheet now. So here we are in the home page of our Google Drive, and we're going to double click on that. Great. Now I have made my screen full screen by hitting F11. That's why you don't get any of the regular Chrome bar at the top. But if you move your mouse up the top, you get the option to take it away from full screen, or you can just hit F11 again. I'll just close this down. All right, so when you look at a Google Sheet, you notice that it's split into two sections, the ribbon and the sheet. Now the ribbon is split broadly into the menu and the quick access toolbar. There are also some other zones that we won't cover in detail, but I'll quickly touch on them. And the first is the Sheets home. That's this icon here. Now if you press on that, it takes you to this view, your most recent spreadsheets that you've been working on. I'm not really sure what value this adds, but maybe if you had a lot of spreadsheets, it would be good for sorting and finding. Okay, so next to Sheets Home, we have file name, and this is what we've called our file, and you can change this at any time. So here we have the star feature. This is really just like favorites. You can look at your starred spreadsheets and documents back in your Drive homepage. This feature allows you to move the sheet to somewhere else within Drive. And this icon, if it's ticked, it just shows that the document has been uploaded to the cloud. Now, all of these documents, all Google Sheets and other Google documents, are automatically backed up and saved to the cloud as long as you have an active internet connection. All right, so across to the right here at the top, and this is kind of a collaboration space. You can see here when the document was last edited, and you can see any comments made and who made them. You can also set up a video meeting here, or you can present this tab to a call if you're connecting through Google. Okay, so this is a pretty powerful feature. You can share this document with anyone. So you can add specific groups of people, and they will need to have Google accounts, and this is like a restricted way to access this spreadsheet. The other thing you can do is you can open it up to anyone. Anyone with the link can either be a viewer, or you can change it to a commenter or an editor. And then once you've made that change, you just copy the link and you paste it into your email or into your social media or whatever. And the person at the other end can actually access the spreadsheet. Finally, here top right, this is just the current Google account that is open. All right, so let's have a look at the ribbon, and this is the menu. Now this is pretty similar to what you might see in other software packages. I really don't want to go through this in too much detail today because we will be unpacking individual commands and functions and features as we go through these tutorials. But I'll just draw your attention to a couple of things. So the first is the headings themselves. These give us clues as to what lies in each menu. Anything to do with formatting, we'll find in formatting. Anything to do with files, we'll find in file, and so on. So it's fairly intuitive and it's fairly standard approach. I will draw your attention though in file to settings. Settings can be very important depending on the type of formatting that we require. There are certain things that by default are set up per country. For example, in the United States, the formatting of dates is going to be month and then the day of the month and then the year. Whereas in other countries like Australia, it's going to be the day and then the month and then the year. So depending on where you are and what you're wanting to use the spreadsheet for, you might want to change your spreadsheet options in the settings as soon as you can. Okay, the other menu item to draw your attention to is help. And certainly if you have an issue or a question relating to the menus themselves, you can go in here and you can look for things. There's the documentation that Google prepare. There are training modules as well, and it can be quite useful. All right, so that's a very quick overview of the menu. Something else that you can do is this little button here will hide the menu, and it will hide all of this stuff at the top as well. This could be useful if space is a bit of a premium, or if you just don't really use the menu that much. One reason you may not use the menu is you might prefer the contextual menu, What that means is if you right click on an area, you're going to get a whole heap of functions that have come really from the menus. And the reason it's called the contextual menu is it depends on the context of where you're clicking. So I've clicked here on a column header. If I click on a row header, it's going to change slightly because I'm going to be wanting to adjust rows. Whereas if I'm back in the columns, I'm going to want to manipulate and adjust columns. Same thing in the individual cells. There's going to be slightly different contextual commands that come up. Let's have a look now at the Quick Access Toolbar. As the name suggests, this is a series of tools that allows you to work more quickly. Unlike the menu, it cannot be hidden. The Quick Access Toolbar is split into groups and commands. You can see the separation of the groups through a very light vertical line. This toolbar is mostly useful for formatting, filtering, and functions. So just remember those 3 F's: formatting, filtering, and functions. A couple of things here. I've never really used this before, but apparently you can search through the menus. So let's just say we want to do number format. Let's go for currency, and you can see there that all of the various links that have been pulled up in the menu. So look, this might be just a quick way to get to something that you're a bit less familiar with. As I said, I've never really used it myself, but you're welcome to have a go. Okay, here we have your standard undo, redo, print, paint format. Okay, zoom, you can access through the menus, but you can also access here. Now this is different from holding down Control and pressing the scroll wheel, because that will change the view, or the zoom rather, of the entire browser. So let's just try that now. You can see there everything's getting smaller and smaller. Whereas if you change the zoom on the Quick Access Toolbar, it's only ever going to change the zoom of the sheet area. All right, here we're moving really into our formatting, and we've got the ability, we'll put a number here just to demonstrate, to change a number into currency, percent. We can change the decimal points forward and back again, and we can access more formats. We can change the fonts, and we're moving into a whole little familiar section here. All of these are really to do with fonts and manipulating the size and the shape and the appearance and the color. These are to do with cells. We can fill cells in different colors. We can put borders around them. We can merge cells together. There we go. Okay, we have some alignment options here. What this means is that we can use our standard left, center, and right justification. We can also make things go to the top or to the bottom of cells. Okay, text wrapping is where you have lots and lots of different text and you want to present it in a wrap. So let's put that back here. You can see that it's just floating over the top of the remaining text, and the little icons give you clues. This is wrapping it within the cell. This seems to be hiding it. So 3 different options there. Text rotation. Sometimes you have very long headings, and you might be better off making the text vertical so that you can narrow your cells. Otherwise they'll be very, very wide indeed. Okay, this inserts a link. So Control K is the keyboard shortcut. And just say you have some text here, you can click this and it will turn that text into a hyperlink, and you just have to put in your link and then you're away. Insert comment. It'll highlight the cell in the corner there with that little arrow, and then you know that there's a comment. So if you hover over it, you can see what that is. This can be very useful when you're collaborating with various people. Insert a chart, we'll get into in another tutorial. All the major charts you can think of, you can insert, whether it's a pie chart or a bar or a column. Okay, filters and filter views we'll look at later. Functions, this is quite interesting. Functions give you the most common functions to choose from at the top, but they also give you all of the subcategories of functions. So I find this quite helpful if I've forgotten a function, but for example, I know it's in the financial category. So I might just have a look here and then I can choose the scroll bar and I might say, oh, that's right. Yes, it was the present value function. That's the one I wanted. Well, thank you for watching this tutorial on the ribbon in Google Sheets. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can see the tutorials as they come out. Bye for now.